Hey guys, welcome back to Clownfish TV. This is Kneon. Geeky Sparkles is sitting this video out. We're going to talk about Warner Brothers and Netflix potentially buying Warner Brothers, but also there's a bit of a fly in their ointment, and that would be the Ellisons, who also want Warner Brothers. I don't know why Warner Brothers is the hottest girl at school all of a sudden. Because up until recently, they had a lot of misfires. Now, in the last year or so, they've done very well at the box office. But we're gonna talk about this and the situation. We've got James Cameron expressing concern if Netflix does buy Warner Brothers. He's like, yeah, they keep saying they're not going to kill theatrical, but they've totally said before they're going to kill theatrical. And I could see them being like, you know what, we're going to keep the biggest stuff on Netflix to try to drive the subscriber count. But also, you know, K-pop Demon Hunters did really well theatrically. So I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen, right? I don't know what's going to happen. But let's talk about this situation, see if we can make sense of it. Before we get into it any further, please subscribe for more pop culture, news, views, and rants, guys. If you want to support the channel, best way to do that is to go out to more.clownfishtv.com. That's more.clownfishtv.com. Yeah, let's tell you where things are at right now. Apparently, Netflix has made an all-cash offer for Warner Brothers. And this is coming from Fortune. Netflix would be killing three birds with one stone by buying Warner Brothers and Discovery, according to Bank of America. So this isn't the only offer, though, just to be clear. According to the Daily Beast, Trump's billionaire pal is using Saudi cash to buy a rival studio. Yeah, actually, the Ellisons, who already have a ridiculous amount of money, are actually getting even more money from the Saudis. They also want to buy Warner Brothers too. Now, what you have to understand is it still has to clear regulatory hurdles, which means that, you know, if Trump doesn't, I'm going to be honest, if Trump and his buddies don't like you, they're not going to, you know, let it go through. They might be, even if the Netflix deal is a much better deal, it might not clear those regulatory hurdles. It might be that Trump and friends allow the Ellisons to purchase Warner Brothers because they already have the overseer in charge of their news department stuff. And honestly, Trump would love it because they might sell off or shut down CNN because it might be a conflict of interest to have all those things. I don't know. I mean, there's a lot of things we got to look at here, but we'll take a look at that one later. This is the Fortune article. It said, the global media industry is standing at the precipice of a historic transformation as Warner Brothers is positioned directly at the epicenter of a significant shift in asset valuation and competitive strategy. This is so fucking boring. According to this Bank of America guy, with Warner Brothers Discovery, the focus of intense consolidation efforts, attracting bids from at least three key players. That'd be Paramount, Netflix, and Comcast. Paramount Skydance, rather. P-Sky. Pisky, Netflix and Comcast. Bank of America sees nothing less than industry realignment. It says a crown jewel studio. They've got Game of Thrones. They've got Harry Potter, et cetera, et cetera. I'm starting to wonder if the actual purpose behind the Harry Potter reboot was this, because I think it's always been Zaslav's goal to sell Warner Brothers, either part of it or all of it. And I think they had to prove that they still had it. And Fantastic Beasts was a dud, but people still love Harry Potter, have given the opportunity to still love Harry Potter. So they had to kind of look at it and be like, hey, what's making money? Oh, we got Harry Potter. Let's do another Harry Potter series. And you know, that's something that whoever buys us is going to get. Let's, reboot DC with, James Gunn. We could talk about that whole situation. But you know what I'm saying? So I am thinking this is all about curbside appeal. Do we need a Harry Potter reboot? No, we do not need a Harry Potter reboot, but Warner Brothers might have needed a Harry Potter reboot. Again, curbside appeal. We just put a new shed in the backyard. That increase, $5,000 shed increases the value of the property $20,000 because the shed's brand new. You know what I'm saying? So that little things like that companies do to try to make things look better. And it isn't really a whole lot of work for them because I guarantee you, like J.K. Rowling wanted to reboot Harry Potter just to wipe the slate clean because the three leads threw her under the bus. So they can just kind of start over. But yeah, it said Netflix's reported focus is specifically on the studio and streaming assets, a deal likely to be valued at more than $70 billion. For Netflix, this would represent a significant pivot from building original franchises to buying established franchise moats. While Netflix is the undisputed leader in streaming subscribers, it has historically lagged behind other media companies in deep IP libraries that offer potential use cases for theme parks, gaming, merchandising, and Broadway shows. Why do we have Stranger Things serial? We have Stranger Things serial because they're trying to turn that into a big franchise. And to be honest, Stranger Things is kind of a big deal, right? It is. It's one of the biggest things they have going for them. But is it something that people are going to remember 10 years from now? I don't know, because Stranger Things is, well, it is kind of, it is event TV. It's also a pastiche of everything from the 1980s, right? And they get it wrong a lot of times. Don't get me started on that. They get it wrong. But I'm just saying that it might not be something that's going to stand the test of time like a Harry Potter, right? And I think they know that too. Building franchises like Harry Potter takes a significant amount of time and investment, while buying it would provide immediate low-risk engagement. It's funny because I was talking about Harry Potter, but and the curbside appeal, but I hadn't read this part yet. So I think that's what's going on. It said the significant upside from potential reboots, prequels, or other franchise extensions. Okay, Warner Brothers library offers a depth that Netflix cannot replicate organically within a reasonably short time frame across several pieces of IP. If Netflix acquires Warner Brothers, the streaming wars are effectively over. Yeah, because it's going to be Disney and then Netflix and Warner Brothers. And then Paramount Skydance. I don't know if Paramount and Skydance could afford to lose it, because I don't think Paramount and Skydance is enough to compete against Netflix with freaking Warner Brothers and then Disney with Fox and all that stuff. It said the triple kill, consolidating power. The first bird killed by a Netflix acquisition would be Warner Brothers, as the streaming and studio assets would vanish to be housed within the dominant streaming platform. So yeah, HBO would basically go to Netflix. It'd be the undisputed global powerhouse of Hollywood beyond even its currently lofty position, with a content moat that no standalone streamer could touch, and combined efforts accounting for more than a fifth of U.S. streaming. Yeah, so they predict that Netflix would continue to offer Warner Brothers films via theatrical, which has been a controversial subject. Well, according to James Cameron, he doesn't believe them. He says they're going to say what they have to say to seal the deal, and then they're probably going to do an about face. This is just what he says. He said Sarandos has gone on the record, that'd be the CEO, co-CEO, Ted Sarandos, has gone on the record saying that theatrical films are dead, theatrical's dead, quote unquote. So why would he believe them? So James Cameron weighed in on who should and definitely shouldn't be the winner in the highly publicized sale of Warner Brothers. Okay, the company currently has major offers on the table from Netflix, the newly merged Paramount, Skydance, and Comcast. During an appearance on podcast The Town, the Titanic filmmaker echoed many industry experts' view that Paramount, now under the direction of David Ellison, should be the next owner of Warner Brothers. And that is with the Trump connection. But he went one step further, saying point blank, Netflix taking over the studio would be a disaster. Well, I guess they're not going to be doing any James Cameron stuff over at Netflix. Sorry, Ted, but geez, referring to the CEO of the streaming giant, Sarandos has gone on the record saying theatrical films are dead, theatrical's dead, quote unquote. Cameron also criticized Sarandos' publicly expressed belief that going to the theater to watch films is an outmoded idea for the majority of people, as well as Netflix's habit of releasing its top-tier features like Roma and Power of the Dog for very limited runs in order to qualify them for the Oscars. They did very well with K-pop Demon Hunters, but that was a limited run. Cameron also addressed Sarandos' claim that if Netflix acquired Warner Brothers, the streamer would continue to release the studio's films in theaters. It's sucker bait, he said. We'll put the movie out for a week. We'll put it out for 10 days. We'll qualify it for an Academy Award. See, I think that's fundamentally rotten at the core. A movie should be made as a movie for theatrical, and the Academy Awards, to me mean nothing if they don't mean theatrical. And I think they've been co-opted. I think it's horrific. Cameron said Netflix should be required to put more effort toward a traditional movie-going experience in order to qualify for the Oscars. Yeah, this is all about subscribers. They want subscribers. Eventually, what's going to happen is they're probably going to start charging people. I mean, they have the ad tier, but I could totally see them start charging people for more premium experiences on Netflix, kind of like Disney did with was it Black Widow, where you could buy it like in app. I could totally see Netflix doing that. Like, yeah, okay, it's in you want K-pop Demon Hunters 2, you want that early? Okay, pay us $50. You can watch it earlier. It'd probably be like $20 or something like that. It said Ryan Johnson expressed frustration on X about how theaters were set to show the latest installment of the franchise Knives Out, although he didn't call out the streamer by name. So apparently they're not going to release it theatrically. But weirdly enough, they're going to release, rather not re-release, but they're going to release the final episode of Stranger Things as a movie, which is, I mean, that actually makes sense. I mean, it's a big wrap up, but this has happened before with TV. I know they did with Doctor Who with like the 50th anniversary and stuff like that. Apparently they did with the 60th anniversary. Nobody was watching the show at that point. But look, this isn't the first time a tech company has owned Warner Brothers. They were owned by AT&T. They were owned by Time. They were owned by AOL. I mean, they get passed around Hollywood quite a bit. So this is come from the Daily Beast. They're upset about the Ellisons, the Trump's buddies, and the Saudis controlling Warner Brothers. Like I said, Tim Drake would be made straight pretty damn quick if this wound up being the case. Trump's billionaire pal is using Saudi cash to buy rival studio. Skydance owner David Ellison has already made his media takeover useful to Trump as Paramount revised Rush Hour at his request. Yeah, that was weird. I mean, I'm going to be honest. That was kind of crazy. Trump's like, yeah, I'd like to see a Rush Hour 4. And they're like, you know what? We're going to make it happen. It was just like, wow, okay. So David Ellison's trying to buy Warner Brothers with the help of Middle Eastern cash, and Skydance took over Paramount in a highly publicized $8 billion merger in August. It's tapping into the sovereign wealth funds of the Saudi Arabia, Qatar, and Abu Dhabi, according to Variety. So Zaslav is reviewing a second round of offers to sell Warner Brothers Discovery, which includes Warner Brothers Studios, HBO, CNN, and its other TV networks. I don't think Netflix is interested in the TV stuff. But I think Skydance and Paramount would take all of it. And I guarantee you, if Trump has his way, he's going to be like, oh, we have a chance to shut down CNN or put CNN under Bari Weiss. Yeah, let's do that. I could totally see him being like, you know what do I got? I will make sure that this offer goes through, not that offer. I could see it happening. I could see it happening. You can like Trump, but he can be a bit vindictive. I'm just saying, I don't think that's a controversial take at all. Comcast and Netflix are competing for the sale against Skydance, although the companies are only in it for Warner Brothers Studios. Yeah, Ellison hopes to take over the company in its entirety. That might actually be what pushes them ahead, I think. So yeah, Paramount, they have to make sure they get this in. Paramount Skydance's 42-year-old MAGA-friendly CEO installed conservative journalist Bari Weiss as the head of CBS News shortly after he obtained that property in the Paramount deal. Onlookers expect more Trump-friendly appointees to come to mainstream news should he also get his hands on CNN. Oh my God, guys. Trump has already used his ally to his advantage, as Paramount confirmed last week it would revive the Rush Hour franchise. Yeah, that was weird. Well, the exact amounts of the bids to buy Warner Brothers remain unknown. Variety reports that Skydance Paramount's all-cash offer includes funds from Saudi Arabia's Public Investment Fund, the Qatar Investment Authority, and the Abu Dhabi Investment Authority. The amounts are below the threshold to require an investigation by the Committee on Foreign Investment in the U.S. According to the site's sources, and the bid still mostly consists of the Ellison family's own money. Well, they're probably a little tapped out after buying Paramount. So yeah, this is wild. I mean, this is end stage Hollywood right here. Like, all the Hollywood studios are getting gobbled up by tech companies or becoming tech companies in the case of Disney. It's just really weird to see, but time marches on. Things change. Gonna wrap it up. Please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants. We'll talk later.